Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And if you are joining me today, please say hello in the comments, either live on Facebook or on replay on Facebook or YouTube. I do see those, and I'm happy to acknowledge you. If at any time anything I say or do prompts you to have a question or want to reach out to me for anything, this is how you can do it. Nancy at nancysniftynotes.com. You can also send me a message through Facebook Messenger. And I'll have this card on my blog, which is at nancysniftynotes.com. And there's all kinds of other information there and links to join my Facebook groups and order through my online store, etc., etc. So please go ahead and check that out. What are we doing today? Well, I just got back yesterday, actually 24 hours ago exactly. We touched down from almost a week, but five nights, 6 days-ish in Canberra, which is the capital of Australia. Just as the city where I grew up, just outside Washington, D.C., Canberra was a planned capital because Melbourne and Sydney kept fighting over who should actually be the capital, and so they put Canberra kind of in between the two, a little bit closer to Sydney, but it was basically the middle of nowhere, and it was done much more recently than Washington, D.C. They broke ground on the first provisional Parliament House in 1923. So it's it's very much a mid-20th century town. And it was a very interesting experience. We saw a lot of interesting good things and ate a lot of good food and are glad to be home. But while we were there, I saw a lot of trees bursting into bloom. It's a very green city, and lots and lots of tree-lined streets, many of which are blossoming trees. And again, it reminds me a lot of where I grew up. And so I decided I wanted to kind of pay homage to all of those trees, many of which we watched burst into bloom while we were there because there were several sunny, warm days in a row. So when we got there, they were in bud, and by the time we left, they were in full bloom. So I spent a little bit of time this morning playing around with the ideas that I wanted to do. And so I've come up with a concept, and you're going to get to see me test it all out. So I've got a piece of scrap paper here, just to kind of preserve my pristine piece there, and a piece of basic white. And I took a couple of the dies from Loveliest Tree, and I made some trees, and then the positive of this one is supposed to go on as the canopy, but I'm going to use both of these, I think, as a stencil. So let's give this a try and see how we go. Yeah, so like I said, this is all just in my head. I'm gonna try it here. This is crumb cake. Oh my goodness, why is my pad so stiff? And you may hear some kind of rumbly sounds or clanging every once in a while in the background. I can't quite tell what you can hear. It is very, very windy yesterday and today here in Melbourne. And yeah, it's noisy. Yeah, I didn't really want to Okay, so we're going to be a little more careful with our swirling to try to keep it on the stencil and not get it off onto the paper where we don't want it. I am very lucky. I've got a really nice customer slash friend slash customer slash friend who is happy to come and stay with the dogs. And that has been really nice. There we go. There's some trees. Try to protect a little bit more here. These are just cheap Post-it notes. Yeah. See, that protected it more. Let me see if I can get this back on here. I'll do a little more. That's better. And then maybe we'll get one more on here. Go. Yep. That's pretty good. I could have cut them out and put them on there, but I think I'm going to like I think they would be too strong. Is that the word I'm looking for? Let's see how this goes. Okay, so I'm bringing in Pretty in Pink. Yep. go. Yes, I know I've skipped one. That's okay by me. You can see I have swapped around the direction of this because they do look very much alike, but I don't need them to be so super matchy-matchy, I think. Yep. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. Except I wish again on that first one, but let's see what we can do about that here. Okay. That was the pretty in pink. And now what I'm gonna do, doing a little more masking here. I'm gonna do that for masking. I'm just wondering how I'm gonna do that. Hang on just a second here. Okay, so this is Balmy Blue. I think I can do it light enough to get right down to there without, yeah, impinging on the pink. Yeah. I think I would be unhappy if I actually masked that off with a harsh line. So I'm not going to. Yep. Good. Okay. And now I think I can come in with my Granny Apple Green. Yep. I'm happy with that. Why didn't I do the ink first to make sure I didn't cover the trees? Good question, Michelle. I wanted to be sure the pure pink came through, and by just going up to the edges, if some overlaps and it blends the colors together, that's okay, because when you're looking at stuff in nature, you know, the light shines through and it would sort of do that anyway. But if I had all the blue back there, then it would probably change the tone of the pink. I am pleased with how that came out. That came out exactly the way I hoped it would. I'm even fine with the green coming up over the blue there. I can kind of intensify the blue a little bit if I want to. There we go. Like I said, I am pleased with that. I'm going to set that aside for a minute because I want to do a little other stuff. I'm going to layer up, and one of the things I want to do is a couple of bigger individual flowers. So I'm bringing in Flowers of Beauty, and I'm going to use this small flower. I can stamp a few of those. And I'm bringing in my foam mat. This is listed as a Stampin' Pierce mat. And that is because with these photopolymer stamps, like I have said before, they don't have any cushioning and they stamp better, especially when you've got a really bold isn't the right word. What is the word I am looking for? Solid, a very solid part of your image or words. You want it to have the cushioning there to get the best impression. So I'm going to do several of these flower insides. I'm not sure how many I'm going to use, but they're quick and easy to stamp. And then all the flowers I was looking at this weekend, if you looked at them, you know, when you looked far away, you just saw the pink, you know, look, pink tree blossoms. But when you looked up close, see if I can talk here. The flowers, the petals were definitely the light pink, but then, there we go. They had a deeper pink or almost red centers and veining and stuff. So I'm going to do that. I'm bringing in the Berry Burst to do that here. I thought about Cherry Cobbler, but I think this reads better. I like those together. Hello, Sarah. Glad you're joining me on your train. See if I've missed anybody else's comments. Great. Okay, and I'm gonna cut this down because I have my cut and emboss mini here. And in amongst all these coordinating dies that go with Flowers of Beauty, it's this one. And look at that, first try to get it lined up. And this is just Post-it correction tape that I use to tack things down. We had such nice weather. We had one day that was overcast, and there were a couple times when there were rain showers, but it wasn't when we were out and about. So we did quite well. We wound up having to fly home earlier than we had originally anticipated. We knew it a week or two before we left. I'm going to go ahead and cut these two out as well. Glenn had a work thing get scheduled that couldn't be changed. The Minister for the Environment, as in the Cabinet Minister, who was at an event he was hosting yesterday afternoon, so we had to be back in time for him to do that. That was when the minister's office said that's absolutely the day that she can do it. So when you're doing that and a whole bunch of corporate CEOs and chairs of boards, etc., you adjust your vacation schedule. So we did, and that was fine. Okay, so there are all of those. And I'll move this out of the way. And I've also pulled in Unbounded Love, which is this bundle, to do a sentiment. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do, because I don't want it to be too big. Let me show you what I'm thinking here. This is, like I said, I've pulled in a whole bunch of things. This is Citrus Blooms, and I'm thinking about cutting that down. Like so. And maybe I'll just go ahead and do that so I know what I'm playing with. Because I think I want that. This is the other thing I was thinking about. Which one do you like better? Just the deckled rectangle or the shaped? Hi, Christine. Thanks for watching on replay. Or I could do that one, that one. I think I like this one least of all. It's not enough. Or I could just cut it down into a, a basic rectangle layer. You like the deckled? Anybody else have an opinion? I need to put it on. I don't know. Deckled. Okay. I'm going to do this on my big machine and I'll be right back. Okay, there is that one. And then I need to figure out what I am doing to finish it off. Like I said, I had a pretty good vision to start with. Sorry, not much chatter here while I'm figuring this out. How do we feel that's going? That better? I could do this all day. You guys having fun? Yeah, still thinking about sentiment and what I want to do. I've got some regret here, but we'll figure this out. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of thinking here as I'm and I have to find what I'm looking for in here. There we go. Okay, let's do a couple of these and figure out what we want to do. So I save, when I'm trimming down pieces to make layers, I save a lot of my offcuts. A lot of my offcuts. So that I can pull out and have strips like this. To be able to stamp on, and I don't have to cut down for that. Still thinking. Trying to decide between linen thread and crumb cake baker's twine. Okay, we're going to go ahead and glue some, we're going to commit, and we're going to glue some layers. Because it's all just paper, and I can make more of these if I decide I don't like how this one comes out. Learn from each one, right? I liked how I saw someone do this the other day, so I'm going to try it. So, I know this isn't how it's going to be in the end, but I'm just playing for a minute. That might be pretty close to how it is at the end. I think we're going to do the celebrate. Be right back. Okay, I'm gonna stick this down. Wind howling through the windows. Oh. Okay. So I'm sticking these three together with some sticky tape. And then, well, I could use sticky tape. That was tear and tape. And then we'll add dimensional there. And a dimensional there. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Probably not. It's a bit bigger than I actually want. You're getting the real deal today. Yep, I'm going to do the same thing again. Okay, one more try. There we go. Just had to threaten it, I guess. Glue dot on there. Yeah, you can hear the wind. Let's see what we're going to add on here. Da, 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 da. There's those on there. Now, I know you're gonna wonder what I'm doing here. I want to add, I know I'm late to the party here with this. This is some of the Berry Burst ink and a water painter. I know, I've got the card all done. How many of you are cringing now? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Just a minute. Hopefully you'll be able to see here. Yep. It's just a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. I'll bring it up and hopefully you'll be able to see it. Hopefully I'll catch it in the pictures. Bring it where you can actually see it, hopefully. There's just a little bit of Berry Burst speckle on those trees, and a little bit off as well, but that's okay. It just makes it a little bit less flat. Yep. I like that. And then when I go and I put the panel inside, get it here. I will add a couple of these. That glue wants to come out really quickly. There we go. There we go. And there it is. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them for me. I will get back to you. Again, you can find blog posts on this and all kinds of information on nancysniftynotes.com. And you can reach out to me, Nancy at nancysniftynotes.com. But I plan to be back same time, same place next week. So join me for something new. Thanks for joining me today. See you then. Bye.